Hello, crafty friends. This is the Papered Chef here. I have my new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine by Stampin' Up. And I'm going to take it out of the box and show you what it's all about. We're going to use the machine. We're going to die cut, emboss, and even make stickers based on a request from one of my team members using the new adhesive sheets. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to like it. I have a feeling I'm going to like it. But we're just going to keep it real. We're going to start to finish show you what it's all about. All right, so the box itself, I wrote down, it was very heavy. Picked it up from the post office. It was 11 pounds, 13 ounces. Okay, so you get in the box Stampin' Cut and Emboss Machine Quick Start Guide. And these are all the cutting plates and platforms. You'll get a better look at this when we're a little bit farther away. Hi, Honeybee Stamping and Nancy Joe. Hello, hello. Okay, then this piece of cardboard came, this giant piece of cardboard. And Diane and Carmen, thank you for coming to my unannounced live. I just did it unannounced because I had to do a live when I got this machine. And Crystal, wow, most people I've ever had come unannounced so quickly. Thank you. June, Crystal, Sally. Oh, and we even have a little handle there. Okay, so that was what was in the box. And then this is just, see, there's a little, I don't know, tilt my camera a little bit. Really well, it's packed really well. I'm going to tilt my camera so you can see inside this box. Or else I'll just move the box over. Here you go. I hope you can see that. See how like it's all, the cardboard inside the box is shaped so that the machine doesn't move at all. Not only that, it was inside this cardboard and an outer cardboard. No, that was the outer cardboard. Sorry, that had my address on it. That was the whole box. All I did was slice it open. All right, so right away I noticed that it's a lot lighter than my Big Shot, okay? My Big Shot is a lot heavier than this. Okay, and then let's do this. Let's open it up. Okay? And you heard it sort of snap. Now what I have here, just so you know, this does not come with it. But we're going to use this. This is something, this is called a take your pick tool. I'm going to use this when I do an intricate die. So that did not come with it. It just sort of rolled into the camera view. So I want to make sure you know that it didn't come with that. All right, so I like that it snaps and it's almost like it's almost like magnetic or something. So it snapped like really hard when it got close. So I bet there's a magnetic thing. And it feels like it's gripping onto my table a little bit. Let's see what the feet are like. Now you know I'm not the most gentle person. You've seen me with my scan and cut. I'm not very gentle, so we'll see. We'll see how I get this work. Yeah, these are rubber. There's rubber little feet there. So it helps keep it from slipping. Plus I have a flat table. All right, so we're going to take the handle and put that on. Let's see what we need to do here. Okay, we are going to, it looks like it comes with a little wrench. This is all good. So let's just use the quick start guide. Not that I'm not good with tools and can't figure this out, but let's look at this. Oh, how wide is the platform? Yvonne asked. It's 6 inches. It looks just as wide as a regular. We'll go through these plates that it came with. It looks just like the same width as a Big Shot. All right. So here's the first thing it says to do. All right. It says to take this handle and we are going to take out the little wrench or whatever we're going to call this. Okay. And we're going to do just like the diagram says. Okay. That's it. There's only, I mean, how hard can this be? There's only a few parts. All right. So I'm going to put the handle like this. And it says to put this in first, the little washer. Put the washer in there. Okay, putting the washer in there. And then put the screw in next. Okay, and then it has a piece of rubber somewhere. Where's the piece of rubber? Huh. I don't know if I've already lost a part. Or is it this? No. It looks like there's some kind of cap that goes over top of all that. And I don't see it anywhere. It must have rolled. It must have rolled. All right. If any of you have done this already, does it come with a rubber cap? So anyway, I'm going to put that on like that, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to screw it on. Why not? We'll see how it works. Okay, we're going to just put the handle on and tighten it up. All right. And it looks like it's supposed to have some kind of little rubber cap. Oh, there it is. I see it. It's on my table. It's right there. See? It does have a rubber cap, just like the picture. All right, I didn't lose parts already, although I've already lost my spider. I'm so upset I lost my spider in my little treats box dies. I do lose things a lot, like especially the little tiny dies. Until I get them put on a magnetic sheet, they kind of disappear. All right, I'm just tightening it up, and then it looks good to me. I see how it's now. I got it tight enough, and it's just sort of winding around, so it looks good to me. Now I can put that little cap on there. And voila. All right, let's try to use the cap is just to cover up the screw. I can push it in there with my finger. All right. Now we're ready to use the machine. Let's see. Now I'm going to do what's called winging it, like I always do. And I'm going to use my knowledge of like my 20, I don't know, plus die cutting machines I've gone through in my lifetime, at least, maybe more. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. I have a Vagabond, a Cut Emboss, a Big Shot Pro, a Big Shot, a Sidekick, a Big Kick, a mini things, and electronic things, and scan and cuts, and crickets, and I mean, you name it. So I'm just going to try to go by what I know about how things work and try to make these work. All right, so let's do this. Let's look at the base. Let's look at what it came with. Plate for die cutting, 1. Plate for die cutting, okay? And it even has diagrams. So it should be easy to wing it. Hey, Patty. And Barbara, we're going to see how to use it. That's what we're going to do, okay? That's the base plate, okay? Base plate. That's number 1. I like how they're numbered, okay? I already bought a set of these cutting plates earlier, so I had already seen that they were numbered because before the machine even became available to demonstrators, I was able to get a cutting plate. Okay, it says plate die. Cutting edge down. Oh, I'm liking that there's all this stuff for me to cheat with and I don't have to do a lot of thinking. And then cutting plates are both labeled 3. So you're going to have one as a top plate and one as a bottom plate. You know, they say 3. They both say 3. In other words, one will get really scratched and then one will be... Yeah, you can use the magnetic plate. There is a magnetic plate. It's just not available to demonstrators yet. And then plate 4. Now let me show you I have the catalog here because I want to show you what's available now for demonstrators and what's not available to anybody. And then next month, the customers are all going to be able to get this machine. If you want this machine now, you can get it as part of a starter kit and join Stampin' Up. But if you want to wait until September, you can get this die cutting embossing machine. Now they told us, here are the accessories. They told us that there are specialty plates, like an impression mat, that's not available to us yet. So there's an impression mat. That's going to do some more 3D type embossing. We also can't get the mini things. We can't get the mini cutting and embossing machine right now. None of these mini plates and none of the mini things. But I do have the take your pick die brush tip. I'm going to show you that. And I have the adhesive sheets. I'm going to show you that. And I do have all these other plates. So we just can't get the impressions mat. Now, I do have a magnetic plate here from my other machine. So I figured, what the heck, we'll try to use that too. So this is what just came with it. But I want to show you something. I'm going to open this back up and I want to show you something. Okay, I just went into my room and came out here with a couple things. Let me just see if I can reach. All right. I came out here to show you some things that we can do with this machine, and I also just want to compare it. So here's what I have. This is what I have planned. Okay, I figured we would cut some snowflakes. Okay, cutting some snowflakes, that's what I have. I figured we would do some snowflake embossing. We would emboss some snowflakes and use some other embossing folders, because I have a couple different kinds of embossing folders. And then what I did, like an old die, a really old style die. Some of you might have these dies. Okay, this is a retired die. They're called Bigz die. It doesn't matter what kind of die. I'm not even going to show you what it does yet. I'm just going to show you that we're going to try this. That's what I want to show you. It's called Bigz, B-I-G-Z. This is a Stampin' Up one. It's retired, but okay. And I just wanted to show you something else before we get started. Okay, this is what I have now. This is my current machine. I'm not going to bring my current machine because I have like so many of them and items, but this is what my plates look like now. Okay, so when you see me scratch my plates right now, which I'm going to do, inevitably I'm going to scratch my plates. It's no big deal. Look at my plates. This is what happens to your plates. It's no big deal. But to keep them from getting warped, see how scratched they are and they're still not warped? You do a couple things. You flip them over sometimes. You know what I mean? You don't always put them in the same way. This way. Sometimes I put them in this way. I flip them over. Okay, I do different things. Okay, I use a magnetic base plate, but that'll fit in here now. Let's see. Let's make sure that'll fit in here. This is something, yep, that's going to fit in there. My magnetic base plate, I already have that. I have a Sizzix multi-platform. That's going to fit in there. But I don't need to make this stuff fit in there. Everything I need comes with the new machine. I'm just letting you know that if you have accessories and things already, you don't need to run out and get all kinds of new things. First of all, you have everything you need. We have everything we need right here. So we don't need anything else. But I'm just letting you know that if these get all scratched up, don't go crying and go, oh my gosh, they're all scratched up, okay? They're going to get scratched up. All right, let's get started with this. Let's do this. We're gonna do some embossing because it's clean. We're going to do some embossing first. We don't have to do any cutting yet because cutting gets a little bit messier. All right, it says embossing folders hinge first. Okay. Hinge first. And it's just telling us to use the two plates. Okay, that's what it's showing us. Say this picture. I'm going to go by this picture. It's saying use number 1, which is this is 1. It says use your embossing folder and these two plates. Okay, so let's do this. Let's make some snowflakes. We're going to use the winter snow embossing folder. Okay, let's do it. Winter snow embossing folder. And then we'll do some smaller embossing folders as well. So let's take a piece of, we're going to start with, before we do anything with cardstock, we're going to just start with a piece of Whisper White, okay? We're going to put a piece of Whisper White in here. Yes, you can use these in the Big Shot. They're going to be interchangeable, okay? What I did is I put a piece of Whisper White in here. I always emboss Stampin' upside up because I can see Stampin' Up. And notice how hinge first. I'm going hinge first. All right. Plate number 3, see that? Put it down, plate number 3 on top. Let's try it. Let's do it. Oh, it's nice and quiet. What I like about that is it's not making all kinds of cracking sounds. Like my Big Shot makes a lot of cracking sounds. Okay, let's see how it did. Ooh, pretty good, pretty good. Look at that. Okay, first right out of the box. Now let me show you what I did earlier. Not with this machine, but with my machine, my Vagabond earlier. I did one electronically, and then I just inked it a little bit. So you can add some ink with your brayer. Depends. We might have time. I'll do it another time. I have an Ink It Up series. We'll probably do some inking on another video. But look, you take a brayer and you ink it up. So then you can see the snowflakes better. Okay, that's one option of being able to see the snowflakes better. Another option is you can ink up the embossing folder itself. You can put the ink on the embossing folder and then put the paper through. Okay, that's another option. But I think by far the best option for making this snowflake stand out to me is about using cardstock that has metallic finish on it. Okay, so that to me is what we're going to do next. This is my plan. Taking a piece of gold cardstock. Gold. This is called our gold foiled cardstock. Okay, I'm going to stick it in there. And I'm going to now show you like the difference between embossing just something like Whisper White. Again, plate number 1, plate number 3, plate number. It doesn't come with the magnetic cutting plate, honeybee stampers, but you can get one separately. It's not available for purchase yet, but I already have one. Well, I already have 2, actually. think I'm going to have to offer one as a prize to my team because I just found another one. I'm like, what am I doing with 2 Stampin' Up! Magnetic base plates? Anyway, we digress. I'm rolling through the cardstock now, the gold foiled cardstock. Now look at the difference between that and embossing just a piece of Whisper White. I mean, there's no comparison. So if you want to really do some cool embossing, just use foil to begin with. That's what I like to do. Okay, so this is Whisper White by itself. The plain Whisper White, I get asked all the time. I use the thin Whisper White. I get the 12 by 12 sheets of thin Whisper White. We have a thin Whisper White and we have a thick Whisper White. I always get the thin one, unless I'm making card bases. Okay, that's Whisper White. That's Whisper White with some balmy blue on it with a brayer. This is gold foil, and I did some other colors earlier with my other machine. Here's some red. Here's some green foil. This is our new foil in the holiday catalog. And I wanted to show you a card I did earlier, how that looks with a card. Here's a foil card with silver foil. Okay? So that's the silver foil. Okay, so now you know how it embosses, and let's try embossing a couple of different kinds of folders. Let me make some room here. So what I want to do next is try the little folders. Okay, we're going to try these little ones. These are in the holiday catalog. They are called wrapped. Oh no, these aren't the holiday catalog. These are greenery. This was in the annual catalog. Forever Greenery. I grabbed the wrong ones, but I thought these were wrapped in texture. Oh no, I have those too. All right, I have lots of these. Okay, I have lots of these. These are in the holiday catalog, wrapped in texture, and these are in the annual catalog. Okay, greenery embossing folder. So for these, I just want to take I want to show you 2 different things. Let's do this one first. Let's do the greenery. It's from the Forever Greenery suite. We'll put a piece of foil in there and show you how that looks. So I cut some foil earlier, and I wanted to just show you a couple different things that I do when I emboss. Okay, this is copper foil. Okay, copper foil. And then we'll do a different kind of foil in a minute when we do that again. All right, so we're going to do green, that in there. Stampin' Up, base plate, okay, base plate number 3, little folder, top plate number 3, nice and quiet, rolling it through. I'm really liking how quiet it is, okay, and we see the result of the small embossing folder. Pretty cool, and that was copper foil. Now, here's what I wanted to show you with the wrapped in texture. All right, pretty cool. What I like to do with this kind of stuff, you see how this is the holiday catalog. It's called wrapped in texture embossing folder. Check this out. You see how small the patterns are? See how small these are, these little tiny patterns? So what I like to do with stuff like that is I like to take punched out images, which I have right here. Or they could be punched out, they could be die cut. It's going to be hard to reach for things right now. Okay, here they are. All right, so I had to do a little digging. What I did is I used a punch called the pine tree punch, I think it's called. So this is what I like to do after I punch out things. I'd like to stick them in here. This is a pretty peacock, I believe, Night of Navy, real red. I think I'll fit more if I go like upside down like that. Maybe upside down, right side up. So then I can fit more on here. There we go. Good enough. See how they're all on there? Okay, I'm going to stick it down and shove that back in there. It's only paper, right? But that's what I like to do. I like to emboss things that I've punched out or die cut out. I've already die cut them, and then I emboss them for some texture. All right, so we're doing wrapped in texture embossing folder. Now, if you have a mini die cutting machine, which we're going to have next, available in the fall, they said sometime in the year 2020, then you're going to be able to use the mini machine to do this kind of folder. But check this out. Okay, look at that. Look at the texture on this. Let's see if we have good lighting. Look at that. So much better then. You got 3D little trees, okay, that go with your projects, and you can reverse them. You can do them debossed, embossed. Okay, so you can have lots of fun with little Christmas trees and everything, and lots of fun with your textures. All right, let's try the 3D embossing folder. I don't know if it's 3D though. I grabbed another embossing folder called, we'll see if I grabbed the right kind. Yes, I did. I grabbed one called the Old World 3D embossing folder. Okay, I grabbed a different type, and I grabbed a brick and mortar embossing folder. I grabbed 2 different types of 3D embossing folders because I was curious as to how they will work with this machine. So here it goes. We have plate 1, that's this one, and plate 4. Looks like that's all we need, right? 3D embossing folders, plate 1 and plate 4. All right, let's try it. We're going to put down plate 1, and here's plate 4. That's that really thick plate. It reminds me of a blue plate I bought earlier this year that I gave away. A couple of those I gave away. Okay, let's see. We're looking for a piece of, remember I said foil cardstock looks better. So we'll use a piece of copper again. And let's do some brick. Let's do some brick, 3D bricks. Fine, see how that works, okay? So again, I put Stampin' Up side up. And I'm gonna put that piece of foil in there, copper foil. And when you're doing bricks, then it probably matters if it's straight. Like I would probably make it straight along the bricks, only because it would matter if you're gonna use this as a card base. Now, if you're gonna use it to punch out things from, it really won't matter. So here's why I have this. And this is one of the tips and tricks, is I get a little piece of painter's tape sometimes and just to make it straight, just to make sure it doesn't slip. Put that on the corner there. Put a little bit of painter's tape on the corner. That way it'll keep your folder straight. All right, so we're gonna do it. Base plate, top plate, roll it through. See how that works. Well, that was easy. Where's the easy button? So far, and I would be honest and tell you, I like it. So far, I like it. Look, it even curled up a little. That means it's a little tight. That's okay though. But I mean, I like how it did the embossing. Ooh, nice copper foil. And then you could do like the 3D paper, old world paper. So far so good. Let's do some cutting now. We don't need to do any more embossing. I think you guys got the idea. Let's make a little bit of room here. Now for cutting, I figured we'd make some snowflakes. Let's first make some without any adhesive, and then we'll make some snowflake stickers. So what does it say? It says, and I'm going to tilt this actually. I think it looked a little better when it was tilted earlier. Yeah, I think we can read that better. It says, and let me just see if there's any questions or comments. Yeah. I just saw you live with a question. Yeah, what sandwich do you use with 3D embossing folder? The answer to that was number 1 and 4 with the 3D embossing folder. All right, so now we're going to do some cutting. So we're going to use plate 1, which is this. We're going to use plate 2. Plate 2, I forget where that went. Oh, here it is. It's this little, it's like a wafer thin die adapter. So we need plate 2. We haven't used this one yet, okay? And now we're going to use 2 plate 3s. Now, you should decide early on which is going to be your, top and bottom, and keep it that way. So it doesn't matter because I haven't scratched any up yet. All I've done is so far is embossing, so I haven't scratched my plates. But you'll see, once I get a scratch on the bottom plate, then I'm going to keep that the bottom plate. And you'll see how I vary it a little bit as I cut out my snowflakes. Okay, so I'm using these So Many Snowflakes dies. I must have cut out a couple hundred of these already. This one, I made the mistake of thinking it was a snowflake. It's not. This one is the type of die you put like on a card to make a hole in the card. It doesn't actually make a solid snowflake. It makes a bazillion little pieces, and I made that mistake. So if you're going to make a snowflake like this, you're going to want to put it onto a card already. Like you're going to want to do that kind of thing. Okay? That you're going to want to make a hole in the card shaped like a snowflake with all these little holes. It's pretty awesome. But what I want to do right now is you'd want to use this. If you're just trying to make solid snowflakes, 1 snowflake, 2 or 3, you want to use these ones. One of these 3. This one, or this one. I've been using these 2. I've already made about 100 of them. And if there's time, I'll show you the projects I made with some of these snowflakes. All right, let's not even use, no, let's start with white, only because we're scientific here. We're going to be scientific. So, we're going to go like that. We're going to use Whisper White cardstock first, right? Because then when I try glimmer paper next, we can compare it. Because what I want to do is cut out snowflakes in glimmer paper, cardstock that is. But let's first try it in thin Whisper White cardstock and see how that happens, see what happens with that. Then I'm going to put that other plate there. Okay, so the sandwich was, just so you see the sandwich, it was base plate 1. It was this thin number 2. Place die cutting edge down, okay? And that was important. See cutting edge down? That's the cutting edge. Cutting edge down. Always down. Cutting edge down. Okay, and that was, oh, you saw how I put number 3 there. That was the clear plate. Number 3. I don't put the dies too close together. Or you're going to tape them down. If you're worried about them, never get them too close together. But if you're using a magnetic base plate or something, the polarity makes them roll around on them sometimes or pop around, and that's when I would use a little bit of painter's tape. But let's just go ahead and try it. Without the glimmer paper, we're just going to try it. Notice all I had to do to get it started was I had to push the little sandwich in there a little bit. Still no cracking sound. Very interesting. I'm so used to hearing a cracking sound when I'm die cutting. Okay, and there's no cracking sound. All right, so no scratches on the top plate. That's my top plate. I don't know what that was. Something fell off my table. Some stuff fell off my table. But look at that. It did a beautiful job cutting my snowflakes. Beautiful job. So here's the snowflake. And what I like to do is I like to take a little piece of tape. And I get all the little loose pieces. Pretty cool. And then look what it did. And it's no big deal. It's going to make a little scratch. And here's my other snowflake. Pretty cool. All right. So see what it did? See how it scratched it? Not a big deal. See that? Let me put something under there so you can see that. So it scratched it. No big deal. Oh, good, Wendy. I'm glad you're learning things from my courses. See that? Okay, so now we're going to do it with glimmer paper because that's what I've been cutting the snowflakes out of. So I would use the same sandwich for glimmer paper. 1, 2, 3. We'll put the glimmer paper down. And this time, I will teach you how to make a sticker. Because I always like to build the skills. Here, let's always add something new each time. And we're going to take what's called the sticker or adhesive sheets. And I'm going to show you because one of my crafty friends, Rita, requested wanting to know how to use this sticker paper. All right, so what we're going to do right now is make some snowflake stickers. Let's see if we have here's the piece of glimmer paper. So what you want to do, and here's the adhesive sheets. They come in a pack of 12, it says 12 sheets, and they're 12 inches by 6 inches. Okay, but don't just use them all. You gotta be strategic with these, okay? You don't just take out a 12 by 12 sheet and stick it to the back of a piece of, designer series paper. You're going to use what you need. Okay, so this is the sticker sheet. It's double-sided sticker sheet. You're going to use what you need. So we'll just take a piece like this and we'll just cover the back of this glimmer paper. So I'm going to cut it to be the size of the glimmer paper. See? That's step 1. Okay? Step 1 when you use the adhesive sheet. Now step 2 is you're going to flip over the glimmer paper and you're going to take the sticker sheet, and you see how it's open on one side? See how it has like lines on it? You want to peel that off, but leave the sticker on the other side. Okay. Let's make sure. Hold on. I want to peel this off. Maybe I have to do it this way. Hold on. Oh boy. All right, the sticker's staying on that side, so it is what it is. That's okay. I'm gonna peel it off and put it on the back. It should have stayed in the other side, but you know, when I use the other brand, it does that. But neither here nor there. Well, I'm just gonna take little pieces of sticker and they're double-sided. I'm just gonna put them right on the back of my glimmer paper. Okay. So there it is. So now my glimmer paper is covered in sticker sheet. Okay, this entire thing is a sticker. Now I've only done one side. I've put one side on the back of the glimmer paper and the other side I can peel off later when I make my snowflake stickers. So let's make some snowflake stickers. So we're going to stick it down just like we would any other time. Just you're going to put the snowflakes facing down like that. Okay, so cutting side down onto the paper. And we need the top plate again. And it's going to be a little bit tighter for two reasons. It's a little bit tighter now because the sandwich has glimmer paper, which is thicker. It's thicker cardstock, glimmer paper is. And the sticker itself is a little bit thicker than. So it's going to be a little bit more pressure pushing it through. So let's see how our stickers came out. Okay, so there they are. You can use this with everything. I did a whole tutorial on making stickers with the scan and cut, and we made some Forever Fern or Forever Greenery, that stuff, Forever Greenery designer series paper, and we made stickers out of that. So you can use this, you can cut out things with your scan and cut the same way. Now you see I'm removing them a whole different way than I did earlier. You saw me pop out stuff earlier, right? This is a lot different now. I'm on a sticker sheet, so I have to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle to get these off. Actually, I could just peel them straight off of here. I could peel them right off if I want to use the sticker right away. See, I can just do that and use the sticker right away. I don't have to do that wiggling. But if I want to save the sticker for later. Okay, so there's my sticker. And I would have to still pop out the middle. I mean, pop out these little pieces. But now I have a sticker and I can slap it on my card. Let's put it on that card that I embossed earlier that I was showing you. The one where I did some rolling, this one. We'll put it on here, that background. So we got a snowflake sticker. I'm going to stick it on there. And believe it or not, this is Balmy Blue. It's Balmy Blue glimmer paper, and I actually, there it is, it's sticking. I knew there was a culprit. Always get your painter's tape, and I'm a very, very messy crafter. So painter's tape's my friend, and I just sit there and I just pick up stuff the whole time. All these little things that keep sticking all over me. I just, you know what I mean? I just clean it up the whole time with the painter's tape. But there's my Balmy Blue sticker. But that's Balmy Blue too, and they don't even look the same. But they are coordinated. Because that's the actual ink I used. See? I used Balmy Blue earlier. When I did this rolling, it looks like I used Pool Party. It really does look like I used Pool Party. Okay, my sponge might have had some other stuff on it. Of course, I didn't really clean my sponge between inking, but my brayer. But still, this is Balmy Blue and that's Balmy Blue, which is, you know, this looks more like that. They're both Balmy Blue. So that's going to go good with these. So many snowflakes. Sweet. Okay, so that's how you get your sticker off. If you want to just peel your sticker off, you can. Because it kind of did like a kiss cut. But if you want to save your sticker for later, just pop it out and save it for later. I mean, so cool having snowflake stickers. I'm going to use it right now because otherwise, the reason I'm using it right now is I won't know it's a sticker. I have too many I cut that are not stickers, and then I won't know it's a sticker, and then I'll have all these like stickers mixed in with ones that aren't stickers. And then we'll have, you know, so there's my snowflake sticker. So let's stick that down there. And I usually put 3 of everything on my cards. So let me grab a card to show you. Here's a card I made earlier. This is my favorite of all my cards. I made like a dozen of these. See how every card, when I put 3 snowflakes, I just put them in different places. See, here's 3 snowflakes. Okay, so I'll be doing 3 snowflakes on this card too, with the sentiment. I'm leaving room for the sentiment before I put the last snowflake on it. All right, so you get the idea. Now, here's what I thought would be fun. I thought it'd be fun to try an intricate die so I can show you how to use the die brush. Okay, so let's put this, we're gonna still do the same thing. We're gonna put plate 1, we're gonna put plate 2, we're gonna put the plate that we started cutting on. This is the cutting plate, that's plate 3, bottom, and then I have a plate 3 top. So once in a while you should make them go through different directions, right? So if you have them going through, sometimes the Stampin' Up's this way. Next time we should start putting Stampin' Up going through that way. That way you're not warping your plates, right? You're not warping them you're putting them through in different directions. All right, so we're gonna use the most intricate die I could find is called the Ornate Garden. Okay, so let's see. I'm just trying to see because I had a little avalanche earlier. Maybe it's here. Here it is, Ornate Layers, okay? So I'm going to use the Ornate Layers dies because these are the most intricate dies I could find for this example. And I want to teach you a trick that my sister taught me. Who's my sister? Her name's Cindy. She's also a team member. She's a Stampin' Up demonstrator also on my team called the Papered Chefs. And she taught me about this wax paper trick, which I absolutely love. So we need some foil. We're going to take a piece of gold foil. And we're going to take a piece of wax paper. So I'm using Reynolds Wrap. Reynolds, it's hard to find paper called wax paper anymore. So you have to find paper called like parchment paper sometimes. So here's a little piece. Okay, can I run it through with glimmer on the back of it? I'm not really understanding your question about the glimmer paper. All right, so let's do a frame. I'm going to take this intricate frame here. This is from the Ornate Garden Suite. We're going to put it down on here. Now, if you want to get bang for your buck, if I just want to make a frame and I don't care about using this as a card base, then I can just put it in any which way. Like I can put this in any which way. But if I'm going to maybe use this as a card base too, like maybe I can get bang for my buck, and then I would use a little piece of, then I would maybe center with a little piece of painter's tape. Anyway, the wax paper trick is this. If you use wax paper in between your die, let's just tape that on there for a second. In between your die and your paper, then all these little bits are going to come out much, much easier. Not only that, I use a die brush. So there's two tips and tricks. So I'm going to go ahead and center that frame a little bit. So again, Ornate Layers die, laying it down, and kind of making it so it's a frame. And we could reuse our painter's tape. And washi tape works too. All right, there we go. Put another plate on top and roll it through. And I'm really liking that it doesn't make the cracking sound. Whoops, wait, now, as I said it, right, did I speak too soon? It's kind of tight. Let me see if I add an extra, never try to force anything, right? So I'm thinking I'm gonna try to push this through, but if I really have to push too hard, I'm gonna stop. Okay, it's okay though. It was just a little bit of pressure at the beginning. Whew, I dodged a bullet there. I was worried about I didn't hear any noise and I was like, Okay, so it went through. So let's see how that did. And then we'll do, let me move the machine for a minute. So now we got to get rid of all the little bits. The wax paper really helps. It helps get rid of, first of all, I don't have anything stuck in my die. And if you've had things stuck in your die before, you're going to know what I mean. You have to do all the stuff with your tape and poking it through with your pokey tool. So the wax paper is a really nice trick. Okay, but the other trick is, and you've also made yourself a little doily out of the wax paper, or we're going to call it the parchment paper because that's what the store's calling it now. And then you can take your die brush. So let me show you that. That's why I brought this out. So this is the take your pick tool. And I love the take your pick tool. You can use it to poke through things. Like you can poke through all the holes, but it's a lot easier not to have to poke through all the holes. It's easier to use the die brush. Now this does come with a cap. Let me show you the take your pick tool. It has a little spatula. It has a pokey thing, a pokey tool, and it has the little putty tool with the putty, and you can get putty refills. But when you unscrew the putty side, you can put the die brush on, which I like. So you can unscrew that side, put the die brush on this side. So you have to get if you want this, it's the take your pick tool adapter. It's like the little brush. And the brush comes with a sponge too. I'm not sure if this is the exact sponge it came with because I have so many sponges, but it comes with a sponge. Okay, now you roll your die over. Never do it on this side because you'll get scratches all over your beautiful gold cardstock. So turn it over, and you can use the die brush. Pretty cool, huh? Look at that. I don't have to poke a million times. I just use the die brush and get rid of all that stuff. And if you want to save all these little bits, you can. So I guess I could have rolled it through one more time. So it didn't really do. Let's see if it did it. I think I needed to roll it back through. So we may need to do a little work on my intricate dies. And you can also just do a little bit of a shim with yep, it didn't go all the way through. But are we going to cry? No. Are we going to use this? Yes. We're going to use this because we can use this piece totally. The whole top of it came out good. You know what I mean? We can still use this whole piece. It's a beautiful piece. We just can't use that. So we cover it up and we do this for a card. And that's why I said we make a mess when we die cut. And then I have to clean it up with, after you get all that stuff off your sponge. And you can save a lot of these curly cues. I mean, how cool are those? Right? You can save all those things. All right, so we've had success with embossing folders. We had success with all kinds of embossing folders and the regular dies, making snowflakes and using glimmer paper and making snowflake stickers. But not so much with the intricate dies. So the way we do this in any machine, in any situation, is you make a shim or you just figure it out. So let's try this again. Let's put the machine back up here. Put the base plate number 1. Put number 2. Put number 3. And we cut it on this side, so let's try cutting it on that side. I mean, why not? I'm just flipping it over. All right, we're going to put down a piece of we're going to find the die. Here's the die. Because we're going to use the same die. We're going to be scientific, right? But this time, I want to make it a little tighter. So I'm going to put 2 pieces of wax paper like that. Because now I have a thicker thing. It's going to thicken up the paper. It's going to make it hopefully go through. And I'm going to put that under the cardstock. I'm going to put it like that. I'm putting the parchment paper down there this time. Only because I want this to touch. I'm going to put it down there. Instead of putting it between the die. Only because it's going to act as a shim now. I'm just going to see if that will help me cut through this paper. Because this paper is kind of thick. Just experimenting. You still need the wax paper. It's just I'm experimenting with where I put it. Before I put it between the metal and the cardstock. Now I'm just putting it underneath. It's acting as a shim. It's going to tighten up the sandwich. Let's try it. And let's put this top plate on. And let's roll it through. And you see how much mess I have all over my table. And let's see if that did the trick. And I could have rolled it back through, but at first I just wanted to see if that did the trick. Now, normally what I would do if I have a situation where I'm not cutting all the way through is then I go backwards. I rolled it back through the other direction. But let's just see if it worked. Let's get out the little brush. Let's see if it works for me putting that extra little shim there. And this is something, by the way, if you're a scan and cut user and you're like, I get asked all the time. I get asked, in fact, recently, I have a scan and cut user group, and someone just asked in the user group. They're like, oh, do you still buy metal dies? Well, yeah, I still buy metal dies. Like, there's no way you could do this with the scan and cut. And I know I'm going to get people saying, yes, my scan and cut will do that. Well, go for it. Have fun. Have fun trying to do this with your scan and cut. Because it's just, there's so many variables. Like, by the time it gets to the end of this, you're going to get Not that it can't do something this small, because of course Brother's going to claim it can do something this small. I've just never had success with intricate dies on any kind of die cutting machine whatsoever. I don't care if I have a new mat, new blade, perfectly aligned machine. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I've never had this much success with this kind. I could never get as intricate as you can with this kind of die as on a. So metal dies are better for intricate things. Is my point. That's my only point. But of course, scan and cut's better for doing multiples of the same thing. It's great for cutting stamped images. It's great for making shapes. I mean, it's great for getting SVG files, cutting fonts. It does another bazillion things better than dies. But dies does a better job with the details. I think I got this one to go all the way through, but I probably would have had more success rolling it through, you know, backwards, like again. Or you know what? I could have made a sticker out of this. And if I would have had a sticker material, it would have been a little thicker. I'm a little afraid there getting this little curly Q out. Yeah, no, it's like I said, yeah. Well, I'm glad someone else is kind of on the same page with that. Because I have people like who tried it that you know, I think it's great to save money, and you don't have to like get as many dies if you have other machines, but there's still certain kinds of dies which lend themselves really well to like having metal dies. All right, so I'm okay with this. I would say, you know, A+ for embossing folders, A for cutting snowflakes, but this is a B. This is a B. This is too much work. My Vagabond would have just cut this in I mean, I would never had to spend this much time. I would have been like pops right out. It would have popped right out. I'd have popped out these little shapes, and I'd have been done with it. I didn't have to do any work. But that's, you know, that's just me getting used to a sandwich. And, you know, we don't want to have to make, I know it's like, oh, make your homemade shim, but the only kind of shim I feel like dealing with is like wax paper. I don't mind a wax paper shim, but I just don't want a different kind of shim for every situation under the sun. All right, so let's put that on a different background just to show you how perfectly that did it. Or maybe here, let's put it on put it on a white background. So that's perfect. That's the ornate, what do we call that? Ornate layers dies. All right, so now let's try the Bigz die, because I'm curious myself. Okay, there's a little bit of something stuck in there already. All right, and there we go. I wanted to get this new machine because I was happy to see something was portable. And I know we're going to be done with this, you know, situation where we're at home and all this for a while. See how portable? I like the idea that it was portable. I could take it to craft club. I can take it to workshops. I can actually demo it on the actual, on YouTube. I can do demos because I can't move any of the other machines into the camera view. They're just too big and bulky, or they're like plugged in or something. So I was hoping, you know, to get this for teaching both in person and online. So I'm glad I got this. I mean, I am really glad I got it, and I'm glad it's working so far. But really, I have about 100 of these kinds of dies. So now I'm going to reveal what this die is. It's retired, and I know I'm going to get people saying, I wish I could get that. Well, maybe on eBay, I don't know. But I don't have it. I only have one. And it's very old. It's called the Petal Cone die. This thing's the bee's knees. There's some dies that I go back to over and over again. It does this kind of box. I mean, it's just so cool. So I'm using, what's this paper called? Frosted Floral. Okay, Frosted Floral. So what I would do in the past, when I have this kind of die, is I would take out the base plate. So let's compare the base plates and see if that's what I should be doing. Looks like I'm going to be doing the same thing. Yeah, I'm taking out the base plate, and I'm replacing the base plate with the Bigz die. And I'm still going to do the thing I did before, which is put the bottom plate. You know, put the bottom plate is well, in this case, it's going to be the top plate. I'm going to put the bottom plate that has no scratches on it. Okay, none. In other words, this is my top plate. I'm putting this on the bottom now, only because it's not going to touch any blades. I'm going to put that way down there. I'm going to put the Bigz die facing up, blades up. See, there's a cushion in there. In fact, these are the kinds that are at schools right now. The Ellison, you've heard of Ellison and Sizzix and all those companies. These kinds, in fact, this was made by that. Look, it was made by Stampin' Up! In conjunction with Sizzix. And Sheila, a designer. Wait, Shelly. Wait, that's the CEO, or that's the founder of the company. She probably came up with this design. Okay, so it's Bigz dyed. But anyway, you could have, I mean, I have like 100 of these. I'm sure a lot of you have them, or schools have them. You can make one letter at a time with these kind of dies. Anyway, I'm going to put the blade up. I'm going to put 2 pieces of paper in. I'm going to try 2 pieces of paper. Only because when I did this earlier, and right now I'm going to try using this paper, because I thought that would look cool as a cone. This is called the World of Good Specialty Designer Series paper. If you never got my annual catalog cardstock share, please check that out at thepaperedchef.com. Not pampered, papered. Thepaperedchef.com. There's paper shares, and I still have a couple annual catalog shares left because I miscalculated really, but I have a couple left. So if you want to, you can still get in on the holiday catalog share or the annual. I'm going to put the 2 pieces of paper, see, on top of there. Let's see what happens. And then I'm going to put this other base plate on top. I'm going to put the cutting plate on top. Why? I'm putting the cutting plate on top because the blade is facing up. Now, you know, I could have turned the whole sandwich upside down like that, but I like to always cut up. That is my preference. I always like the blade to be facing up at me so I can see it. Especially most of the time that the dies I'm using are metal and they're see-through. So let's see if the new die cutting and embossing machine will do a Bigz die. Okay, I'm curious. I'm holding my hand on there. Now I'm pushing a little harder. Okay, let's move this out of the way. And it did. And let's see if it cut through. A lot of times, you know, it cuts through both layers and you have a problem. Did not. And let's see if it cut through there. 2 pieces, no problem. Ooh, yeah. And then I have my petal cone retired die. Sometimes we just have to admit we are hoarders. And there's certain dies that just don't get rid of. Because these are great for like when I do the kids craft club or craft fair, because they're just so easy to put together. But speaking of easy, I'm gonna end with an easy die. I'm gonna end with my 2 favorite dies. I brought out the curvy keepsake and the little treats box dies just to show you those as well. What I really like about this box is I can ship it to somebody as well, like flat. It ships flat if I don't put the goodies in it. I'm just using some of the new snail adhesive. Oh, it's not called snail. It's called Seal. Seal Plus, that's what I'm using, by the way. Seal Plus, and then you go like that. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuck it in, and you have a little cone. All right, so let's try using an easy die that's not this kind of die. So I've shown you everything it can do. You can do metal dies. You can do, let's see, metal. Oh, and it has little things that came in that die too. Embossing folders, metal dies, 3D embossing folders, Bigz dies. So we make stickers. I mean, what can it do? And now this machine is $120 retail. But if you become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, like you can join even for the discount if you want to join, or if you want to join for a discount, you can get this for $99. You can just put it in a starter kit. Starter kits mean that you can select $125 worth of items and pay $99 and get free shipping. So this would be your whole starter kit, plus $5, $5 item, like maybe some Stampin' Dimensionals or something. Something we have for $5. We have a few $5 items. You could get this, some adhesive, like some Stampin' Dimensionals, and you could then have your starter kit, free shipping. You get a free paper pumpkin kit, a past paper pumpkin kit, and you get, you know, so you're only paying $99. That's it, plus tax. There's no hidden fees. There's no extra charges. It's pretty cool. All right, I want to show you my 2 favorite dies in the whole wide world. My 2 favorite dies, one is from the annual catalog. It's called the Mini Curvy Keepsake die. Let's try that die. And then the next one is from the holiday catalog. It's called the Little Treat Box die. They're my 2 favorites in the world at the very moment. You know, so changes as new products come out. So what I want to do is take, since it's, Christmas time is here, we're going to take some, I only have a couple pieces left of this, this one. Snowflake Splendor, it's called. So when I do this, I like to use a small pattern. Okay, we're going to put this curvy keepsake die face down, and notice what I did. Plate 1, plate 3. That's what I did. And then you can put, what's really nice about the curvy keepsake die is it comes with all these little cute little tags. You could put a heart, you could put them on there. They all fit on the sides, and I'm just using 6x6 paper. Now the paper's not 6x6. The paper is, this paper is 12x12. I cut it down to 6x6. Okay, so let's put the other plate on top, and we'll make a curvy keepsake box. Oops, you know what I forgot? And this is good. You just keep it real. The reason it just went right through with no resistance is because when you use metal dies, you need to use plate number 2. So pull this whole thing out, put plate number 2 in there, right? You need 1, 2, and 3. Let's put them all back together. Put the sandwich back in there. You need 1, 2, and 3 when you're doing metal dies. And you'll know if you have no resistance, then you'll know. And I can cut too many curvy keepsakes at once usually. Yes, it's 6 inches wide, yep. Okay. So there's the little stitched die. And there's the little tag, so you have little tags, and then you make, and the curvy keepsake. And you can cut 2 at once. And then you just fold it like that. And it didn't cut all the way through, but you know what? I think if I would have cut 2 at once, it's getting close to the edge. I probably shouldn't cut 2 at once on this machine. Maybe 1 at a time, because this is pretty fragile. And then what I did is I just put it together like that. Super simple. This is my favorite die because I love the fact that you can cut it out in one piece. Absolutely love that die. Okay, and then my second favorite is the little treat box dies. Let's see. We're going to make a little bit of room here, or we're going to look for them. Ooh. I guess you can hear my noise I'm making. Meaning, how did we get everything ready and then lose it so quickly? Here it is. And I've already lost my little spider too. With these little treat box dies, this is in the holiday catalog. Linked in the description of this video is the holiday catalog. I've used these so much and I've already lost my little spider. But there's a little treats bundle. And this is pretty cool. So let's use the other piece of Snowflake Splendor. And we're going to make a little treat box. And again, move this. It's going to get scratched, so turn it around. Flip it over sometimes. Let it get scratched on both sides, and let's not warp our plates. You put that down. And at first I didn't realize this fit in a 6x6 piece of paper, but it does. But you just got to tape it. Use a little painter's tape, because if it slips, it won't really fit on there. See how it just touches the edge, barely. Barely, barely, barely. So you have to go like that. Like that, maybe. Let me just do this. One side fits a little better than the other. There we go. I mean, you see how it's touching. All 4 sides are just touching. So you want to make sure it stays on the paper. And I think it was Lori, one of my viewers, was like telling me that it fit on the 6x6, because at first I didn't think it would fit on there. My next door neighbor's dogs like to bark loudly. Okay, so here we go. Putting that top plate, and we're going to end with my little treat box die as I crush my poor little petal box. We put that over on the other side of the sofa. All right. The nice thing thing about getting things from Stampin' Up! Too is that as we come out with every time we come out with a new product or something, they're going to give us instructions on which plates to use. And there's a lot of dies that also emboss. And there's going to be an embossing plate, so we're going to be able to make more 3D items. Now what I do for this little mini little treat box die is I pop it out, and then you see how there's this little piece in there. So I take the Take Your Pick tool and pop that out. Or you can take a piece of tape. See how I took a piece of tape and pop out those little extra pieces. Okay? Again, very, very hard to do something this intricate with the scan and cut. Now this not only cut for us, but it's scored. Okay, so it cut, and these lines are scored. So look at this awesome die. And I think I could do videos just on how to decorate these boxes. I mean, we could color them, we could decorate them, we could stamp on them. I mean, there's other things we can do. But that's the gist of it. Use pretty paper and you have like a project done. You have it done like right like that. I mean, it's just so simple. And you put your little, I've been doing mini Tic Tacs. This is one of the kits I have, mini Tic Tacs kits available on thepaperedchef.com. Again, not pampered. It's going to try to, Google's going to say, did you mean pampered? And you're going to have to say, no, I mean papered. Anyway, I have these Tic Tac kits, and they come with 2 full treats already made, and then all the supplies to be able to make some more kits. So you can make some tag topper treats, some mini curvy keepsakes, some little treat box dies. I'm not allowed to stamp for you. I can't stamp the sentiment. I have to send you blank sentiments because it's a kit. You have to make it at home. But a lot of my customers already have the stamp sets. So you don't actually need the, the sentiments already made. So that's what that looks like. And I have some, I'm just going to show you the ones already made up as a full example of this. One of these dies. These are part of the kit I'm sending. This is not part of the kit, not this box, but these 2 are samples I'm sending with the Tic Tac kit. Every kit is different that I make. Like you pick a theme for your kit, and every kit is different that I make. Okay, so that's what that looks like with some ribbon and some snowflakes, and this would not be possible without die cutting. So this is the little treat box dies. That's a little treat box die, the little die right there. This is just me cutting with the banner punch. This little angel is from Most Wonderful Times medley. These little stars are from So Many Stars. These little snowflakes are from So Many Snowflakes. And you saw how I made them. This is the little treat box die. And this is just a punch. This is a punch. Okay, so anyway, now you got to see the new machine. I hope you liked that preview. And if you want one, you can join now. Stampin' Up, join my team. Use the link in the description. Or if you'd like to wait until September, you can buy this machine for $120. Stampin' Up stands by our products, so we definitely have good customer service with when you get machines like this from us. And it's going to be pretty indestructible. If I haven't destroyed it already, I mean, it's pretty heavy duty. I mean, there's some heavy duty metal inside there. See, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like metal rollers in there, and it's sweet. So I hope you like it, and I hope even if you don't need another machine, we're crafters, and it's not even a matter of need, or it's kind of sometimes a matter of want. But if you don't need a machine or you're not going to get one, I hope you still liked seeing what our machine can do and seeing what some of our dies can do. So maybe you get some dies from us to use with your existing machine. So both boxes are available. Yes, Tammy. This is called the little treat box dies. This is available in our holiday catalog right now, which just launched on August 4th. It's called the mini catalog. It's called the 2020 August to December mini catalog. And then the mini curvy keepsake die. This one's available right now. It's called the Mini Curvy Keepsake. It was in our annual catalog. But everything is in our website. Whenever I say catalog, you don't actually need a catalog, although I'll send you catalogs. But what I'm saying is you don't need a catalog. It's all on the website. paperedchef.stampinup.net in the description of this video. So these are like dies that I've used literally. This one I've already used over 100 times. This one here. And this one I've probably used 1,000 times. you know, because I made lanterns. I think I showed you, I don't know if you saw this. Maybe I didn't put this on my YouTube channel. But check this out. I definitely have to wrap things up. I'm totally late for my weekly updates I'm supposed to be doing for my team. But anyway, I think some of them are here so they understand. All right, there you go. You can make a little lantern with translucent, this is called the Plush Poinsettia Designer Series paper. Yeah, Tammy, the larger curvy keepsake is retired now. But you know what? I like this one better because the larger one, you had to glue 2 pieces together. And this involves no gluing. That's why these are my 2 favorite dies. No gluing, no scoring, nothing. Boom, done. You don't have to do any work to make a box. Like this is, you know, I'm used to making boxes using a lot of scoring and a lot of work. So these boxes are not any work. That's why they're my favorites. And and I do like the other curvy keepsake. In fact, this one is so cute, it would fit inside the other one. It's so cute. The other one was bigger, but you had to glue 2 pieces together, which makes it not my favorite. But I do still have it, of course, because I have everything. I kind of save everything. So anyway, I guess I'll do another video showing you all the snowflake cards I made, hopefully, or at least a little Instagram video where I wanted to show you all the snowflake cards I made with these snowflakes before I send them off. Yeah, classroom treats, teacher gifts, and everything else. All right, well, that's all for now. This is the Paper Chef. I hope you enjoyed this cut and embossing machine demo, and we will catch you next time. Thank you for coming and for your comments, and I'll try to answer the questions later as I watch this video. Again, with the comments. Thank you.